Hi, it's Carolyn, the Contest Queen, and I have a different type of video tonight because I am doing an unboxing. Now, you may not have heard of Tag Powell, but he was Helene Hadsell's second publisher, and here's how I came to know Tag. I was working with Amazon, and I get a notification from them saying that the copyright page in the book isn't correct and I need to update it. And I sent them a letter saying I have the copyrights, and they're like, no. And then I finally figured out what they wanted. Was my mistake was I had listed it out on the copyright page the way Helene had done it, and that's not correct for modern day publishing. So I had to go through and update it. But in the meantime, just in case, I started contacting her old publishers to get letters from them stating they currently didn't have any copyright on her books. And this book, the second edition of the Name It and Claim It game, was printed by Top of the Mountain Publishing. Now this one, I've kind of destroyed this edition because this is the one that I used to get all the images from because these images weren't available. So I literally kind of flattened the book and scanned it and then sent the files to my daughter, and she's in illustration at the art college in Toronto. So we kind of we fixed them up, and then we were able to reuse them, and they look almost exactly like they did when they were printed. So we did a pretty good job on recreating them. However, it kind of broke the spine a little bit, but that's okay. In the meantime, I tried to find this Top of the Mountain, but when I was at Helene's last April, and I was, oh wow, it's almost been a whole year. How crazy is that? And I was clearing out her books, anything that was autographed, it was clearly personal, anything silver related, I took. And then I realized when I was doing some Google searching that Top of the Mountain Publishing was owned by Tag Powell. And I was like, wait a minute, I know that name. Started digging through Helene's books, and I found his books. I was like, this is the same guy, but I found 5 different addresses in Florida. I had no idea if this person still existed. I mailed him letters to every address that I could find. And one day he phoned me. I found him. Luckily, one of the addresses was still current, and that was the one he currently lives at. So I was so happy that I actually found him. And he's 85 years old. He has had a stroke and has COPD. So when I talk to him, his memory on some things, sadly, is a little bit Swiss cheesy. But boy, is he sharp as a tack. Some of his memory is so good. And he was telling me about some of his times with Helene and Jose. And then I realized that he was also, because I had found his books, he was also an author in his own right. So I said to him, who's maintaining your legacy? And he said, nobody, because his children, similar to Helene's, aren't interested. Or in Helene's case now, it would be her grandchildren. They're not interested in that work. So I said, well, how about I do for your books what I did to Helene's? And now, meanwhile, I had sent him copies of all the books that I had updated. He couldn't believe it. I guess so, you got to remember, publishing in his day, and publishing in my day, it's totally different. Like, this is print on demand. It's, I've got ebooks. It's a whole new animal. And he just was thrilled with what I had done with their books. And so I said, well, how about I buy the rights to your books and I republish those? So we went back and forth on what books, because he apparently had published tons of books. A lot of them were also Silva based. And that was the first hurdle I had to get over, was that I couldn't publish his first book. Now, I can't seem to find a copy, but I have a copy of the second one, the Silva Mind Mastery Method. He just updated it for the 90s. So this was basically the second edition of that book. And he wrote it with his wife. And I said, but I can't do it without permission from the Silvas. And he goes, oh, pshaw, Jose told me I could do it. I said, yeah, that's not modern printing methods. I can't do that. I need a contract. he tried to contact them, but I guess with his, current abilities, he had trouble. Anyway, I ended up reaching them via email because I had called the office too and I had trouble, but I ended up reaching his daughter Laura was who Tag knew, Laura Silva. She's the one in the back of this tape set that I have. I don't know if you can. Oh, I'm covering her face. She's at the bottom there with her dad and one of the other big instructors. Anyway, Laura was no longer working there, but Diana, the youngest daughter, was now president. And so she thought it was a brilliant idea. I said, okay, I don't want to make a contract with you yet. I just wanted to know if I had permission. Let me see if I can work out something with Tag. If I can, then I'll come back to you. And she said, perfect. So that's what I'm in the process of doing. But I think this one probably won't come out till next year because I've got so many other books and there's more processes involved. And I'm gonna ask her. I'm gonna put out the juju. So if everyone else can put out that juju, that we're gonna get her to write the foreword to the book, which I think would be amazing. And then I want Stephen Dabos, who's the main Silva instructor here in Canada, to write, a foreword, and then I'll write something, and then we'll add to the book. I think it'll make it really robust and add something to it. So I'm very excited about that project. But that's what that one is. So that was the first hurdle. The second hurdle was that one of his books had a co-author who I can't reach. So I couldn't. So unless you get a contract with both of them, you can't publish the book. The third hurdle was 2 of the books were beautifully illustrated. One illustrator has passed away and the other one has too common a name. We couldn't find them. I actually hired a detective. Now, if any of you came to the sweepstakes mini event that I would put on with Courtney back in 2017, we had Shannon Tullis come and speak. Because if you ever read the full rules for the HGTV home sweepstakes, you'll see there's a clause in those rules that allow them to vet you before they award the prize, which means they will draw like 10 names of potential winners, send them to a detective like Shannon, who will then do a full background check on you, not just like Google your name, full on. She has, police authorizations and all these different things to the, CIA databases and things like that. These detectives have licenses that they apply for and sites that they pay for access to, and they'll do a full search on you. So that makes, I did a marketing blog post once called, "Can you award a prize to an axe murderer?" And you can if you don't do your due diligence. So the HGTV people do their due diligence before that prize is awarded to the potential winner, and then they still have to do all the release forms before they're the official winner. But that's all done behind the scenes, so you don't know what's happening. And when you click submit on those rules, you're agreeing to that background check. Knowing what type of detective she was, I contacted her and said, "Hey, I'm looking for these 3 people. Do you do this service?" And she said, "I absolutely do that service." So that took about a month of going back and forth trying to get her more info. And it was really funny. She said, "Does Tag have any more info on one of the artists, the one with the common name?" And I said, "Tag, who's this person?" He says, "Never heard of him." I'm like, okay, that's part of the Swiss cheese part. Oh, well. Anyway, his wife had since passed, but he was married to a twin, and his sister-in-law comes. He still lives alone. Amazing. Comes like every day to make sure that he eats properly, fed and watered, so to speak. And so she had, knowing that we were coming, had taken the time to pack up boxes of books. And one of them, which is really cool, I'm going to see. So this one is, and then she kept finding more while we were there. So I filled 2 huge blue bins. I've got 2 boxes over there. So the other thing is too, I had originally planned to do this live stream in the garage like I had done with Helene Hadsell's unboxing, because I had boxes and boxes and boxes of books from her. And but George tonight is having a guys' night. It's Friday night. I should have known. I don't think I did hers on a Friday. I think that was the thing. Anyway, the guys are all, it's not only a working workshop, but he's got his drum kit out there, the big 100-inch TV that I won, a guitar that I won him. They're all out there jamming. So, because hockey's tomorrow night, which I won a gift card to at the local pub. So we're going to the pub tomorrow night to watch hockey with the gift card that I won. I love this hobby. Anyway, I've got some stuff like, look, this is in the packaging. Where's the write-up? It's a Silva Mind Mastery Seminar, the book. And look, someone did a caricature of Tag. I'll show you a picture. I put it in one of the books so it wouldn't get crumpled. Let's see. I think it's in this one, actually. I put it here. Yeah. So this is Tag and Judith Powell. So you can see how handsome he was. I should have gotten the picture I took of the two of us printed. I haven't done that yet. Also, his sister-in-law emailed me a picture of him that was quite good. But he drives around in one of those little scooters, and he nearly ran us over a few times. He's in the house, and he's just booming around. And he's still working on different projects. He's amazing. Like, as Swiss cheesy as his brain is from the stroke, so I can tell he was super intelligent. The other thing that I found when I was there, he had hundreds and hundreds of books. There was one wall of his books that he wrote, and I found out what kind of doctor he was. He's a doctor of psychometry. So I took a picture of his diploma. It was very cool. And I found tape sets. Who is old enough to remember the tape sets that he'd listened to in the car? You know, I don't know if you can hear that. I'll hold it up to the microphone, jiggle it a bit. You know, with a little bit of Velcro and the tape inside. And so I added these. I bought the rights to these two, and I'm going to turn them into Audible books. So I have a meeting with the digital producer on the 6th. I'm also going to do a narration test for the Name It and Claim It game. I may or may not be a good narrator. We're going to find out. I did a survey to see if I should be doing her books or I should hire a narrator. Everyone said, it's your legacy. She asked you to do it. You should narrate it. But I don't know if I'm good. So the only way to find out is to try, right? That's how you find out anything in life. Just give it a try. So I'm going to go give it a try. Then we'll decide if I'm going to continue or we're going to hire a narrator. But for tags, we've got, for the audio series that'll be coming out, we have The Secret of Visualization. We have the Think Money Action Kit. Look at this. Some of this stuff isn't even opened. And then he, printed some on his own with a color printer. Then we have, I love this one, Instant Money. Who wouldn't like instant money? And so all of these seem to have like a little, oh my gosh, the tape is not in this one. I just took it without checking. Oh, the Money and You seminar. Oh, I hope these are the same. Oh no. Yeah, we were in a hurry. That's hilarious. I can always write Jerry Ann, his sister-in-law, and ask. That's very funny. Live television, live streaming. But inside he had these little things with all these affirmations and stuff. So on Audible, you can add PDFs. So I'll be scanning all of these. And this is actually a little booklet, right? So I'm gonna scan the booklet and I'm gonna recreate it. So I'm going to do two. I'm going to do a scanned version so people can see what the original looked like. And then I'm going to do a clean digital updated version. So everyone will see like the modern and the Because what the producer said to me was, if you do this, it's going to be very tinny. So what I can do is I can get a digital copy, and there's AI software that will take the audio and turn it into a script. And then I can take that script, and if it's the man's, I might hire a male narrator, and we'll find somebody that kind of sounds like him, and we'll do the narration. So there'll be a clean version and a digital version. So I think that'll be fun. So those are those ones. And we have, this one's called Master Key, the Master Keys to Persuasion. See, let's see. I grabbed all the versions I could see. Oh, it's a good thing, because then the book's in this one. By Tag Powell. See, this says 1985. Largo, Florida. And then I have from his wife, I have Color Healing, which I find very interesting because, you know, I do a lot of work with Robert Ohotto, and he just did a 6-part series on healing the light body and all about colors. So there's no such thing as accidents. It's all synchronous, right? And then Judith, his wife, did Discover Your Perfect Mate. And then there's a tape set here too. I think these things are great, right? Like the old sets that they used to have. So then I have a lot of books. We went through the books, and this one's on sleep positions. I think some of the ones we had kept, this is The Laws of Mental Domination, How to Master and Use Them for the Dynamic Life Force by Frank Ralph Young. I mean, how hilarious. But some of them have a bit of water damage. I don't know if you can see. And then we have, then there was some magazines that came in, these old, this is called Psychic Pathways. And it's like an old newsletter, like on the typewriter, and then it's folded in half. Like you can even see the typeface. And then some of the old ads and stuff. I thought these were hilarious. We've come so far. Like, I'm live streaming this. Like, that's crazy. I can talk to anybody in the whole world right now. So yeah, there's a lot of dream ones. I found there was a lot of kind of groups. I think this one's interesting. Mental and astral projection. Helene talked about that in one of her books. He was also a publisher. So he got people seeing if they would publish his books. This is another dream book. Lots of dream stuff. Complete Dream Book. Kingdom of Dreams and Dream Power. Now this is interesting. I have this, but there's no cassettes for it. It says The Amazing Results Full of World Cassettes. Oh, no, it's a catalog. See, some of the stuff we were just given and we didn't even have a chance to look at it. Okay. And then, oh, this is a course. Friday night, 7:00 dinner, 8:15 listen to cassette, 8:40 discussions of what? Oh, it's telling you how to do a cassette course with people, like a workshop, like people do on Zoom now. Oh my gosh, technology, right? Oh, this is interesting. I didn't even look at this. Sexual dreams. And then dreams, understand. Yeah, there's she obviously Jerry Ann packed these for us, so they're obviously grouped. This is Night Lights. This is an Edgar Cayce reading book. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Edgar Cayce, so that would be interesting to read. And dreams that can change your life. Well, Helene always talked about that. She always said she kept a what do you call it? A journal, like a journal, a blank journal by her bed, and she would write, like if she had an idea, pen, she'd wake up. Oh, this isn't them. This is okay. And more. This is tours of Egypt. He had pictures of Egypt in his house. I took some. I've got to blog all this. He took pictures of Egypt, and when him and his wife Judith were there, and there's one of her on top of the pyramids. I said, I didn't think you could climb the top of the pyramids. He goes, if you pay the right people, you can. This was like, I think in the early 80s. Like, it's been a while. since he went to Egypt. So I don't know if you could do it anymore. This seems to be the ARE. I don't even know what the ARE. Oh, the Association for Research and Enlightenment. All the woo-woo stuff. This is interesting. This is Irish alchemy cards. And then he gave me, I don't know, maybe 100 of these. So I'm going to see if I can find this fella. I haven't even had a chance yet. This is by David. This is the 17th printing. This was by David Fraser. Apparently, this book is fantastic. I haven't had a chance to read it yet. And I'm going to see if I can find him because I can't, Tag doesn't, once the publisher's done, it's the author that holds the rights. So if it's to be reprinted, you have to get a hold of the author. So I might be calling Shannon again to hunt him down if I can't find it. So the rest of the books. Okay, so this box is basically the tapes, half full of David's books, and all the dream books that she packed up for us. And the car, my little car, oh my gosh. I have a little Mitsubishi RVR. And that thing, God bless her. Yeah, I call her. I call her Missy because she's a Mitsubishi. She was so packed full. Look, I'm so squished in here. I have to put some of the books away before I can show you the other box. You could feel the back of the car. So George had to move some of the books to the middle of the car, like right behind the seats. So the car didn't feel like it was going to drive home like that. It was pretty funny. When he put everything in the car, I could just feel it. I was like, oh my gosh. Yeah, that's a lot of weight. So we had a lot of driving back. Okay, now each of these boxes must weigh like 80 pounds. So I have to move one off before I can open the other one. Let's see if I can do this. This is why I wanted to do it in the garage, but that didn't work out that way. And this one is a lot of the extra copies they had of all the books I bought the rights to. So I will be republishing this one. Now, this one doesn't have any illustrations. Now, some of the other things I found this, and I'm going to get it digitized. I'm going to see. But this was a show he was on called Predictions in 1997. It was sent to him by London Weekend Television Limited in London, England. This was Tag, and let me see if I can get no shine on it. I know it's hard. I'm working on the next big thing I'm going to be doing is lighting in this office so I can avoid shine. Wait, how do I do this? Okay. I think that's pretty good. That woman is Mary Cronk. So what it was, he told me, he said the studio recording went very well. The controller of the department, Jim Allen, thought yours and Mary's interview was the highlight of the program. And as promised, I'm sending you a press photograph of yourself with Mary and a copy of the program. So I've got a copy of the program. I'm going to get it digitized. Look at this is even the original packaging it came in. And I'm going to see about, putting it out there. But it was her and him going head to head with thought processes, which I thought was kind of cool. And then I have some sets of Judith. These are all autographed. So, which is kind of cool. She's been gone, I think they said 8 years. No, maybe it's 11. I think she's 11. And then I have other books that I can't really do. I did not buy the rights to this because with the current status of the economy, it doesn't really work. So I did not buy the rights to that, but they gave me all their copies anyway. I was like, all right. So we did The Science of Getting Rich. There's so many. True Secrets of Goal Setting. Look at that. Now, I love this one. Super Subliminal Plus. I did not buy the rights to this one. But, I think I know why. Because it was increase motivation and decrease procrastination. Becoming a non-smoker, defeating anger, increasing self-confidence. I wonder if we can always do an add-on to the contract. Maybe. I'll have to ask my lawyer that. Oh, we have some packing tape here. We have, this one was Silva, so I did not do this one. This was Silva Master Keys for Success. Again, he just asked, and then Judith had written this book on apple cider vinegar, but I did not buy the rights to that, but they just stuck it in the box. I was like, all right, I'll take it home. He did As You Thinketh. I bought the rights to this one, but I'll show you. The author, the illustrator was Kay Campbell. Now she's passed, so I couldn't use some of her illustrations. I got the rights to the book, but I can't use any of these pictures. I can always scan some and show them like in a blog as examples, but I can't, give her full credit. But I can't reproduce them like as an author. So I'm either going to find another illustrator, or I'm just going to just not have any images in it. So that's the Science of Getting Rich. That's one of them. Then there's the Proof from Poverty to Power. This is another one with the illustrations I can't use because I couldn't find the illustrator. This one I couldn't find. That one had passed away. And then this one doesn't have pictures. Science Becoming Excellent. So these are going to be quite good, I think. So this is all just copies. Okay, so now I'll get, holy cow, I don't know where I'm going to put these books. I'm going to end up having a storage unit or something. I have so many books. But it's going to be very interesting to see what I can put out on either YouTube or get reprinted for the audio. So I'm very excited about talking to the digital producer and seeing what is possible and what is not. So hang on, I got to get the other books. They're really heavy. And my office is extremely small. It's like 10 by 10, or maybe it's 8 by 10. It's not very big. So, okay. Then I had him sign some things. I think this is some of the ones I got him to sign. Yeah, I got him to sign some extra copies for me so that I have. Yeah, so he signed all these for me. Oh, this one had something on the back. And then I think this is, Think Wealth. Okay, what have we got here? Oh, More As You Thinketh. So this is Beyond Our Limits. There were so many cool books. This is supposed to be a good book. I was taking a course, one of the courses I took with Robert, one of the classes he did, he talked about this book. I went and bought it off of thrift books. And now I have the hardcover, which is kind of cool. Some of them, the covers were gone. This is Between Two Worlds. This is interesting. What Witches Do. And more dreaming books. I think this is only part of his library because he had and I don't even know what was packed away. Should have used my own mug. I didn't think that went through. This is the one George got for Christmas. And still, green tea still tastes good. This is Witchcraft, Mysticism, and Magic. I may not keep all these books. I don't know. We'll have to see. There's a dream dictionary. That's interesting. Oh, this is really cool. Oh, this is a good one. I'm going to have to go through that. I was just trying to, as I'm flipping through it, I'm trying to remember, what did I dream about last night? I can't even remember to look it up. Oh, this is The Ultimate Frontier, an account of ancient brotherhoods and their profound worldwide influence during the past 6,000 years, in a tiny paperback. So let's see, more duplicates. This is your day. Oh, is this your day? How the science and biorhythm enables you to find your natural rhythm and life cycles to help guide you to a fuller and safer life. Oh, psychopicography, the new way to use your miracle power of your mind. Oh, this is like Jose Silva. How to flash a picture of your desire into your subconscious mind where all your power come from. Oh, and this is another Edgar Cayce book. I like Edgar Cayce. He was interesting. We have The Science of Witch's Brew. I saw a TikTok and the guy says, so you put in vegetables and meats and spices and herbs, and you're telling me that's not witch's brew? He's talking about soup. Soup is witch's brew. I was laughing. Kissing covens. This is a coven of witches and warlocks. He has a very eclectic psychic energies. How to change desires into reality. That is an interesting book. He talks about telepathy. Was this one of the ones that he wrote? And this is crystal work. Oh, I like my crystals. I have a little bowl of crystals right here. My friend gave me this. It's a candle holder. It looks like a crown. Of course it's a crown. I've got jasper. My pendulum is smoky quartz. I found this rose quartz heart. I think that is my moonstone. I have my tiger's eye. I love tiger's eye. I have some malachite and 2 pieces of green aventurine. Of course I have green aventurine. That's the gambler's stone. I think this is Apache Tears. And I have fairy money in there, which should be in the fairy money jar. Fairy money is money that you find on the ground. And I put all the money I find on the ground in a jar. And I call it my fairy money. That's only a fraction of the stones I have. This is with Einstein on the cover. The Future Now. How to use all methods of prediction from astrology to tarot to discover your future. Well, it kind of doesn't work because what they're reading is the energy today, and any choices you make could change the trajectory. Andrea says, let's see if I can get to my mouse. Andrea says, I have a lot of reading ahead of me. Yeah. It's more like flipping. Okay, this one I thought was cool. The Aura coloring book. And then there's a lot of color therapy books. Oh, the astrological body types. That's interesting. And then I found all the color books were interesting because, like I said, Robert just did a whole series on the light body, and it was all color. And that's interesting. Yeah, these are all color therapy. One's literally called color therapy, including gem therapy with auras and amulets by Linda Clark. Oh my gosh, this pile. You guys can't see it because I actually should have my chair higher up. My office is so small. I've got this set. You know where the chair's set? The chair's set for me to look at the screen, but the camera's up here. I think I need to lower the camera, actually. That's something new. And some more weird books. And I've got 2 of them on the treachery of witchcraft. And there's a book on gypsies. Gypsy Witch, dream book. There's some strange stuff here from the 60s. The practice of magical invocation. It sounds like that's just trouble. Oh, this is interesting. This is a handbook of numerology. And it's got this stuff in it. You know when you used to print that paper when you're in, well, my age, when you were in school, and it had like, you'd print it over and over again. Oh, what is this called? Mimeograph? This is mimeograph paper. Oh, that's kind of crazy. I better keep this, put it back where it was to keep it straight. because the edges are already a little frayed. Then this one's about a medium. She was Ina Twig. She was a medium. I was reading about her because I thought this was interesting when I saw the book. So she's probably like a female Edward. I shouldn't say he wasn't a medium. He was a psychic. Oh, and this is the psychic world of Peter Herkes. Oh, this is the hidden channels of the mind by Louisa Rhine. I can't believe that I'm still this low. And the book piles are like very high, but they're still not in camera view. Oh, now they're starting to get. This is the Moon Mother, the arc. I find this very interesting because a lot of people talk about the moon. I actually have a deck here from Hay House from Yasmin Boland. It's called Moonology, and it's an oracle card deck on the cycles of the moon, and you can draw cards just like any other oracle deck. It's kind of cool. The Magic and Meaning of Voodoo. Yeah, some of these books might be donated or sold or something. Power of Color. Actually, there's a really cool guy that I follow. I bought his book. It's on my Kindle, so I can't remember the name of it because they had a sale for like $1.99 or something, so I grabbed it. Hay House. Douglas. I want to say Douglas Fraser, but I think that might be wrong. He writes books on color and the different ways you can incorporate color into your life and how they can activate different energies. And I just saw an Instagram post. He loves going to Japan, and some friends had given him some gold, edible gold, that he was sprinkling on his coffee to invoke the energy of gold in his life. I thought, well, that's kind of crazy cool. Okay, so that's it for that box. Like, look at the size of these. These are moving boxes that they went and got for us. Oh my gosh, you know what I have to do? I have to talk to you while I repack the box because I have nowhere to put the next box of books if I don't put these away. Yeah, there's a lot of books. So, and this is only half of them. We left the other half because we couldn't bring them. We couldn't bring them back. There was the car, we had no room in the car. It was just physically impossible to bring them all back, which was kind of sad because it was really, really cool. Some of the stuff, but oh, this is gonna be fun. Now I gotta try and pack it back again. Oh, this isn't gonna work. Okay, I'll just shove them all in here and then I'll figure it out later. That seems to be the way my life is. Just we'll do this now and we'll figure it out later. That's just the way life is. You just go with it. Go with the flow, as they say. And let's see, more books. Yeah, so we went through the books rather quickly, and then this is what we brought back. And now I have to go through them again because there's too many. Like I don't have a library in here, unfortunately. And so I have boxes in Rubbermaid bins. But he was also a teacher in his own right. Okay, let's see if I can get to these books. Oh dear. Yeah, I was only able to get 2 boxes next to me because my office is so small. Again, I had planned this in the garage for this very reason. And unfortunately, it's the Man Cave Schneid. So here's another edition that I found of this one. Apparently, this is the British edition. And I think he signed this. No, he didn't sign this one, but I got that one too. And then, again, more of these. So just like Helene, I got all his old inventory. The Psychic World Around Us. That'll be interesting. This box does not want to stay open. Oh, I found this. This is kind of cool. The Crystal Avatar. He gave me this. And it's it looks like it's kind of like a pendulum with astrology astrology board. Sound healing. That's interesting. And more color therapy. You are a rainbow. Health you in the color beneath. So this is her color chart, which is really fascinating. And again, the harmonics of sound, color, and color vibration. This is where all the color books are. Oh, this is fortune telling with cards and more fortune telling. I love all this weird stuff. I've loved this stuff since I was a kid. I used to read. I think this is, I read this when I was a kid. Let me see what year it is. This has got the foreword by Carl Sagan. Yeah, 74. I used to read books like this when I was like 10 and 12. There was other ones like this, and they were the pocket size. And how much were they? They were like $1. Yeah, see, $1.75. I used to save up my allowance and buy these books. And I remember I had one time and I was on the subway or the bus or something, and I left it, and I was so sad. This is geomancy. So it tells you the ancient and mysterious system of self-discovery holds the key to understanding today and predicting tomorrow. I thought geomancy was the where you belong on Earth. Oh, astrology divines by the stars, geomancy by the earth. Together they form a unique method for delving into the meaning of the present and future. Look at that. Instant. Oh, yeah, these are all the pocketbooks. Instant ESP. The psychic power of animals. I just saw a TikTok. I love my TikTok on how whales can actually talk across the entire ocean. Secret powers of numerology. Why do I think that name is familiar? Oh, I was so happy to get this one. Lucky Charms. And what's really funny is when we were in Nashville, I bought this to hang. I'm going to frame it. It's a card. You're my lucky charm. This was printed at the Hatch Show print shop, which used to do all the signs. And you do not have to take the Hatch Show print shop tour to see in the print shop because it's all glass. And you can go into the gift store because they're happy to sell you anything. Let's see. What the power of the charm? Okay, this I got to look. The power of your birthstone. Okay, let's look up that one. Hidden influences of gems, links to the universe. Oh, they don't list them out. You know the date of your birth. It's easy, therefore, to determine your zodiac sign and your lucky birthstone. See chart on 31. Okay, let's go to the chart on 31. So select your lucky stone based on this table. I already know it's supposed to be a garnet for me. Well, that's interesting. My lucky birthstone is a chrysoprase. Praise? Psychophrase. Capricorn is the goat. Usually it's garnet, so that's interesting. Now I'm going to have to go look up what that stone is. Anyway, that's like totally fun. Oh, and I'm still meaning to do another video on lottery numbers. So I did one with Helene's techniques, but I've got one with little pages from all these other sweepstakes books that talk about lottery. There's a whole book on lottery numbers. A whole book on how to pick your personal lottery numbers. Oh, and this one I had taken because Helene had talked about the UFOs from behind the Iron Curtain somewhere. And how to read auras, practice psychometry, telepathy, and clairvoyance. There you go, by Mr. Butler. We have another book by Mr. Butler. Oh, this one, here's another one by Carl Sagan. And the Handbook of Psychic Discoveries. I believe Helene had books by these two, also the authors. Oh, and she definitely talked about this one. Yeah, this is the one she talked about. Psychic Discoveries Behind the Iron Curtain. You can't find this book. So I feel very, very lucky. Like I kind of won the lottery there. This is fortune telling with cards. And funnily enough, Helene had 2 copies of this book, and so did he. What? Zigara, the fortune teller. And I have not actually really looked at, this is the Kabbalist chart. And it's by Gypsy Queen. 1979. But I guess this is a replica of a much older book because of the printing. I don't know. And it talks about the Kabbalist chart. And let me just see if there's anything specific that sticks out. No, but now I really have to look at it because they both had 2 copies of that book. That's kind of a little crazy. Psychic energy. And then this is the polarity response, or why is it I never get what I want, which is very interesting. But again, this one's very water damaged. There's a lot of, oh, you can't see that. Okay. Hello. You can see that it was something happened. But thankfully, all the print, is still legible, even with the damage. So, and this one's called Earth Magic. The something Olanic Book of Shadows by Mary Weinstein. It's also a witchy style book. The Incredible Coincidence, Synchronicity. It talked about synchronicity. Oh, Amanda says she can't see me. Oh no. Have I lost my stream? If anybody could let me know. It shows I'm still streaming. She looks like she's on YouTube, so I'm streaming. I'm supposed to be streaming on Facebook, YouTube, and on Helene's page. This is Marjorie, an entertaining, intriguing story of one of the most controversial psychics of the century. Oh, that might be interesting, actually. So, yeah, this is the last box of books. Vibrations. This one is very damaged, but I could not find this copy. Helene talked about this book, and it's called You Are Not the Target. And I was very excited to find this book because this is my only copy of it. So it's a little bit ravaged, but thankfully, oh, Yolanda says she sees me. Thank you. Yeah, so that was by Laura Huxley. So if you can ever come across that book, get it. Like, this is where the wisdom of your subconscious mind, Enochian magic for beginners. Oh, this is kind of exciting because I want to read this one. We're going to Sedona this summer, the Sedona Vortex Experience. Helene had been there. This, I was also excited to get it because I have the ebook on my Kindle, but this is The Game of Life and How to Play It by Florence Scovel Shinn. Helene talked about reading her book too. Very good book on manifesting. This is The Crystal Heart. We have, Amazing Secrets of the Psychic World. Self-mastery through conscious autosuggestion. Basically meditation. Oh, this will be interesting. The 5 stages of the soul and a crystal book. What's in the crystal book? Talks about different, any specific crystals? Quartz crystal, cleansing your crystals. Oh, that's important. Activating your crystals, charging your crystals. Okay, that seems good. Oh, crystal wisdom. That'll be good. Oh, curious lore of precious stones. That's interesting. The lazy way to crystal. So she's clearly grouped them all together. The lazy way to crystal understanding. And the A to Z of astrology and more crystal energy. In the palm of your hand. Oh, look at that. A beautiful crystal cluster. The power of quartz crystals. Crystals energy. The gifts of the gemstone guardians. It looks like somebody out of one of the movies. More crystal guidebook. Oh, star seeds. When was this one written? This is Ken Carey's book. He also wrote Starseed, Transmissions, Vision, and Return of the Bird Tribes. This one is from 1991. Yeah, this is Color Your World. Practical color magic and enjoyment and use of color, which I find interesting because we're picking color currently. Oh, Helene also had this book, and I took another. This was she also had the hardcover version. So I have the same. I guess, they were in the same circles. They spoke on the same circuits. This is Astral Projection and Venture Inward. It's by a Hugh Lynn Case. I wonder if she's related to Edward Casey. So I'll have to look at that one. Again, it's missing its cover. Oh, again, I'm going to have to include this. This is how to predict the winning Keno numbers and lottery numbers. We're going to include that in the lottery video, but I got to read it first. Psychic and other ESP party games and astral projection. Okay, let's look at this party games book. Do you really want to do this stuff at parties? Oh, what do we do it? Does anybody have parties anymore? I know I used to have dinner parties when I first got married. ESP game, the pendulum game, dowsing. You douse at a party? That's interesting. Psychic games with playing cards. This is kind of funny. Round robin. ESP applied to old favorites. There's a game called Cheerio, but you apply ESP to it. Oh, and there's one here that looks like it's kind of, let me see if I can show you the page. It looks like it's Battleship. Where did that image go? I just popped past it. It looked like Battleship. You know how we used to play Battleship? Yeah, look at that. I don't know, see if you can see it. It looks like Battleship. You play basically Battleship with a grid paper. Who do you think you are anyway? A numerology asks you. And we're going to talk about this. I'm having Sarah Jordan on in a couple of weeks. And we did Helene's numerology because on her birth certificate, she's Helen. And on some of her earlier books, she's Helen. And then later, she's Helene. And I even found some of her workshop books where she added the E. You could see she had it printed. They were all printed. And then she went and physically added in the E to the printing. And with numerology, that changes your whole trajectory. So it's very interesting. We're going to talk about numerology and changing your name. More Edward Casey. Oh, Secrets of the Inner Self. That looks like a Salvador Dali painting. And the last book is Numerology Made Easy. So there we go. So we're going to talk about that. And this one's from introduction. Well, there's no normal page. Oh, look at this. Melvin Power Self-Improvement Library. They have astrology, bridge, business study and reference, calligraphy, chess and checkers, cookery and herbs, gambling and poker, health, hobbies. Let's see. So let's see if there's anything. There's strategy at winning play for poker, dice games, craps, gin. Okay, so beachcombing for beginners and coin collecting. Let's see if they don't have how I turn junk into fun and profit. Basically flipping. Or we watch those shows on Pickers, American Pickers. Magic. So he was also one of the things I did not get, or any of his magician books. I think he's leaving them to his great grandkids because Tag in his early days was a magician. So he's done everything from being an author, being a Silva instructor. Basically, he liked to invent things, all kinds of things, and clearly an avid reader. And this is just a fraction of what his library is/was because I inherited some of it. As you can see, 6 boxes worth. That some of it we can combined into other boxes. And it's going to be exciting to see what becomes of it. And hopefully I will have space and time to read some of these books, because I actually like to read them. I used to be an avid reader, and then social media came along. And it's too tempting, especially when you're tired. But yeah, so like You're Not the Target is definitely going to be a good read. And then I'm looking forward. I'm going to do this probably in maybe May on all the different lottery ones. And now I have some extra ones to add in, which is going to be fun. And then now I just need library space, because as you can see, I don't have any space for library. So all the books are in Rubbermaid bins. It's so sad. Oh, well, that's okay. I just wanted to share all the excitement we had, because we had such a good trip meeting Tag and his sister-in-law, and making sure his legacy, because it was so wonderful printing all of Helene's books, because they're all 4 of hers are done now. And now I have 16 from Tag and Judith Powell, 10 books and 4 Audible series to do. No, 6 Audible series to do. So it's going to be very exciting to share all that stuff with the world again. And, some of this stuff, like, I'm holding up some of these old books, but the information in them is still just as valid now as it was then. And it's just not available all the time. So we will, we'll see. Anyway, stay tuned, because I'm always doing something different and exciting on with the Contest Queen. And always go to my events page, because I'm always adding new dates and interviews and things like that. And if you follow me on YouTube and hit the notification button, every time that I post a video, you will be notified. And also when I go live, and I've got 3 lives already pre-booked. So it's very exciting stuff coming up. I've always got somebody new to talk to, and somebody always interesting to talk to. So you want to make sure you don't miss any of those. This was a little off my normal track, but I was just so happy to have met him and continued his legacy. And because these are not sweepstakes books, I'm building an entirely new website called Words for Winning. And all the books are going to live there. So I will have the sweepstakes books on my Contest Queen site, obviously, because I'm the Contest Queen. That doesn't change. I still wear my crown. And my marketing website will then just become marketing, because I put Helene's other books there because I didn't have a house for them. And now they're all going to have a home. It's called Words for Winning. It's not built yet. My website master's working on it. And we're going to have a lot of stuff. So there's going to be a lot of coming soon pages to start with. And slowly, as I produce books, they're all going to live there. So that's kind of exciting. And then Contest Queen's going to get a whole new facelift this year. So there's a lot of things in the works. A lot of books to write, a lot of things to do, a lot of things to teach. I'm just excited. That's 2023 for me is a up-leveling year, and that's what we're doing. And I'm so glad you're all along for the ride. And I really appreciate it. And if you have any questions, email me at questions@contestqueen.com, because I'm happy to answer them. Of course, like I said, this is a little bit off the beaten path, but you have to believe it before you see it, as Helene says. And I don't think that's her direct quote. There was somebody else that said it, but I can't remember who it is. Until next time, bye for now.